Kunyan. We're going to be working on Mirap Jiggy or your knee strike. You'll use this in self-defense. You can use it for breaking. It's a really great tool because you don't have to have a lot of technique to know how to lift your knee. However, you do have to practice and get used to distancing and motion. Now, as we do this today, I would like for you to keep in mind what kind of target you're using. If I am using my knee strike, I'm going to have to be relatively close because my knee, or the distance from my hip to my knee, isn't really big. So I'll be in close distance as I strike. So keep in mind when you're practicing your strikes that you are close. You're not going to be doing a knee strike from out here. Okay? So you want to make sure that technique is close to your target. Okay. As we go through this technique, I want you to practice on both sides. If you have a bob, that would be great. If you have hand targets or a big shield, you can use those, but you want something to practice driving into. Remember, you always want to drive in with any attack 2 to 4 inches past the edge of your target. If I just go up and I tap him, it doesn't do a whole lot. But if I go in and I go through the target, you're leaving an impact. And you want to make sure, if you're really having to use self-defense, that you know how to leave a huge impact. You don't want them getting up afterwards. We want to be able to keep you safe. Okay, so you can attack areas are groin, solar plexus, or face. Those are your typical spaces. You can hit anywhere. If you've got your back to them, there's lots of things you can do in the kidneys. You can even go down into the knees depending upon where you're at and what you're facing. So, but for this technique, you're mostly going to hit your groin, solar plexus, and face. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is let's practice this forward first. You really want to drive your knee. My back heel is going to pull in as tight as I can. I don't want to throw it like this. See how there's no knee motion, there's no point. You want to have a really nice point. So pull that knee in really, really, really tight. Get your calf all the way up into your hamstring so you really drive. Then you're going to drive with your hip. You're going to throw that hip all the way through your target so you make no mistake. You drive that in. At the same time, I don't want you leaning back. So instead, you have to throw your knee past into your target, keeping your shoulders and your hips and your ankle in alignment. So that's where it gets a little bit more tricky. Some of us come by it naturally, some of us really have to focus on it. But as you're here, I want to be able to go boom. Okay? So once again, we're going to do this 5 on each side. You're going to throw that knee as tight as you can, kicking your all the way back in as much as you possibly can, and then throwing your knee as high as you need to depending upon where your target is. Okay? So get your hands up so you can keep your body up in posture lifted. Here we go. We're going to do 5 with your right leg and then 5 with your left leg. Okay? I'll key up. Ready? Hut! Hana! Good. And dual. Throw that knee. Set. Net. Toss it. Good job. Okay, other side. Here we go. Are you ready? You're in a nice little fighting stance. Bringing that up. Ready? Ha! Dual. Set. Net. Toss it. All right? Okay, then if you have a target or someone you can strike on, you can have a family member or someone that you're doing it with, which is great, but please make sure they have some sort of shield so they don't get hurt. Okay? So if I'm here, I'm going to pull in and drive in as much as I possibly can. Okay? So you go, hana, dual, set, net. Okay? You get that done. And then I want you working up 5 at the groin, work at 5 at the solar plexus. So I want to bring the knee way up here. Okay? Keep in mind, if I'm really doing it, I'm probably going to be grabbing them and pulling them into me so I can match the height of my kick to the distance and how far, because they might be bending down. Same thing with your face. So as you come in, you want to practice, boom, you need to go way up high. All right? Now, as you practice these techniques, practice them at home, practice them on different targets, get targets out in front of you. You need to be doing these like 20, 30 times a day for a couple weeks to kind of start getting comfortable with it. That doesn't mean you have mastered it. I'm still practicing at mastering stuff. It just is on and on and on. Just have fun with it. The way we've set this program up is for you to be able to choose from your list of your playlist, from your techniques, and pick enough to do every single day till you get your 30 minutes in. So if you're doing that every day, and you're working through that, I mean, if you need to start out less and do 15, fine. But if you really want to master it, you need to be doing this 15 minutes a day, and by the time you're done, your body's going to be in pretty good condition because it's a lot of motion all over and over again. Okay? All right, keep at it. Keep working on mirror up jiggy or your knee strike. I want you to practice it 5 on each side into the groin area, or if you have shields and targets, I really like to see you get it 20 times each day, you know, alternating your different target areas. Okay, when you've done that, please comment below, hashtag did it. Please put your name and the date. And if you have any questions on that, please let us know. All right, Trip? Kunia.